Hello Facebook, this is Sandy with Trending Designs by Sandy. Give me just a second to get the live pulled up on my tablet here. Take me just a second. I think I'm getting a little bit quicker at it. I'm just jumping on here real quick. I wanted to show you guys how quick and easy Chalkboard is to use. And I picked out a transfer. And I'm going to do two projects, one with ink and one with chalk paste. Let's see here. Turn my tablet down so I don't have that echo. Looks like it's coming up, and it looks like you can see me. And in a few minutes I'm going to turn it down so that you can see the project. Let's see here. For some reason, I always seems to have difficulties at this part. So give me just a second. Almost there. No, it doesn't look like it's going to let me do that. So let me know when you are here. Let me know where you're from. I know that a lot of the people that I follow and that follow me have been at Wreath Makers Live, so I'm not anticipating a whole bunch of people here. But we're going to do two projects. So again, my name is Sandy. I'm with Trending Designs by Sandy. I'm an independent Chalkboard designer. I've picked out a transfer today to use on a chalkboard and to do an ink project, just to show you how quick and easy it is to use Chalkboard. Hi Rita, how are you today? You just got back from church. I have been running all over this morning. I had to take Emily to her last day of the driving course. My teenage daughter turned 16 last month, and we signed her up for the class part of the driving course to get her permit. And then from there, she has 1 year. We have to do a minimum of 50 hours of driving time. I'm sure in 1 year we can do a lot more than that before she can get her license. So she's super excited and nervous today because she has to actually take the written part of the test to get her permit after the end of the class. So I don't think she's going to have any issues. She's been studying every night and taking those tests that people post online that are actual DMV tests, and she's been doing very well, passing each of the tests. So I don't think she's going to have any issues, but she was pretty stressed this morning. So we're going to do another fun Halloween project, and again, I'm going to use it on two different surfaces. Thank you, Rita. We're going to do it on a chalkboard, and we're going to do it on a canvas tote. So I'm going to be using paste and going to use ink just to show you how quick it is to use the products. So the first one, or the transfer that I picked out, is just kind of a little saying, spooky, black cats, Halloween, trick or treat, haunted, October 31st, ghosts, and jack-o'-lanterns. The first one I'm going to do in a couple of different oranges, and I'm going to do kind of an ombre effect. And then on the second one, I'm going to use some orange and black ink. And again, just to show you the versatility of the products. Let me know, there's a delay, so it's kind of frustrating when I'm looking at the tablet and it's not showing up. So actually, yep, okay. So, looks like it's coming up. So again, when you hop on, just say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. And I'm going to go ahead and change the camera view down, and we're going to get started. I have a make and take this afternoon, so I'm just kind of killing a little bit of time. It's at 3 o'clock this afternoon with, I think we're going to have 8, maybe 9 ladies there. So I'm excited this afternoon. Thank you, Jeannie, if you jump on and happen to see me either now or later on. I greatly appreciate it, and looking forward to having some fun this afternoon. So I'm going to change the camera view. And we're going to chalk first. And I just grabbed out one of my chalkboards that's been discontinued. They no longer have this particular chalkboard. So instead of doing it at events anymore, trying to sell it, I am going to just use it. So we're going to, and I always like to start from beginning to end so that you can see exactly that there's no tricks or hidden secrets to using the products. So I'm just going to stick my little envelope to the side there, and it looks like I might need to adjust my camera just a little bit more. So I'm going to just write on the back of the backer of my transfer the word back, so I know which side to put it on when I'm done. And then I'm just going to pull it off. And I have a little fuzzing cloth over here to the side. And this is an actual Chalk Couture fuzzing cloth, but towels, any kind of terry cloth towels work just fine. I just want to remove some of the adhesive off of the back so that when I stick it to my chalkboard, it's not real difficult to pull it up. Set my chalkboard this way. And the two pastes that we're going to be using are orange peel and papaya. And I'm going to kind of do an ombre effect, although I might do ghost and white. And did I have silver? I might actually do my spider in silver as well, because I think there's a little spider on here. But these are the two main colors that we're going to use. Again, they are orange peel and papaya. And I'll set the white and silver to the side because I might end up switching it up just a tad. And then I'm just going to try and center my transfer here. And I don't measure, because the nice thing about this is if I don't like it, I can simply spray it down with some water and I can start over. Plus, after Halloween, I can do the same, unless it sells at an event. And right now all I'm doing is adhering my transfer to the chalkboard, making sure I don't have any air bubbles. And this is just a giant squeegee. And it doesn't feel like there's any air bubbles in here. And these are two brand new chalk pastes, so they are looking really, really good. I love brand new jars of chalk paste. I'm just going to give it a quick stir. Scrape off all my excess back into my jar. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Grab out another. And this is just a multi-tool. It's great because it has this curve on it for getting into the sides and being able to stir your paste. And again, I'm just going to scrape off all the excess. Stick that one over there. Grab me a couple of smaller squeegees. And these are just our mini squeegees, and that's all I'm going to need for this. And Rita, can you hear me okay? Let's see here real quick. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Since it's a black chalkboard, I can't really use any kind of black on my bats or on my spider here. I'm going to have to use, I think, silver. And I'm going to do that last, because with chalk paste, you kind of have to work a little on the quick side. So I'm going to grab a couple of paper towels here. And I have a little water bath that is out of the camera view, and I'm just going to get them wet. And then they will be ready for me to stick on my transfer. And actually, I don't even know if I'm live anymore because my feed just stopped. Give me just a moment. Gotta love lives where you're in the middle of something and you get an error. Trending designs. So let me see here. All right, I got it brought back up. Hi, Jennifer. For some reason, let's see here. From Texas, welcome. And yes, Rita is from Texas also. I am in Colorado, the western slope of Colorado, Grand Junction to be specific of the town. I'm the largest town on the western slope. I'm about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive to Denver during the good months. In the bad months, it can be 6 to 10 hours to get to Denver, depending on road closures and the amount of snow. And I'm about 6 hours from Salt Lake. That kind of gives you a little bit of an idea where I'm located at. We have a town of less than 100,000 people. And I work in a town in Delta, well, the town I work in is Delta, which is about 35-40 minutes from my house, and it's a town with a population of less than 9,000. So I am kind of out in the country on a little farm with 3 acres with a bunch of goats and chickens. Just got a cow a couple weeks ago. Dogs, cats. So I love my little farm life. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started now that I got the camera back up. Again, if you want to jump on and say where you're from, tell me about your day, and we'll go ahead and get started here. So we're going to... Again, I'm doing an ombre effect, so I'm going to be using 2 different chalk pastes. Papaya and orange peel, I believe, are the 2 names. I don't know how many of you have seen this before. This is Chalk Couture, and I'm using a reusable silkscreen transfer on one of our retired chalkboards. It was our black frame Aiden. Okay, and now I'm going to grab some of this orange peel, and I'm just going to go in here in between where I didn't put any paste. And I'm trying not to get my bats in here, because I'm going to try and do my bats and my spider in our silver glitter color, since I can't do it in black. It will not show up on the chalkboard. And then I'm just going to put this to the side. And, well, I had a spray bottle and I don't seem to have one, so bear with me while I attempt to mix these up. I think I packed my spray bottle away for my make and take this afternoon. And all I'm doing is taking my finger with the excess of the chalk paste that I'm using and just blending between the two. And I do have a water bath in front of me if I need it. Chalk paste you have to work a little bit quicker with, because it will dry. And so I'm just going to stick my finger in this water bath that's out of your camera view. And then I'm going to grab a squeegee and just squeegee off the excess. And because it's mixed colors, I can't scrape it back into my container, otherwise I will contaminate it. So I'm just going to scrape it off onto a paper towel. And that's all I'm doing, is just squeegeeing the excess off. Normally I would scrape it back into my container so we didn't have waste. And if I had been better prepared, I would have grabbed an empty container, so I could have saved this to use for something in the future. Okay. So now I'm going to take these two paper towels that I got wet at the beginning, and I'm just going to set it down while I prepare the silver to do my bat. And I'm doing this so that moisture stays within the paste, so that it doesn't dry completely before I have a chance to pull it up. I'm just going to open up my silver, give it a quick little stir here. Scraping the excess back into the jar. And because the area that I'm going to be working in is really, really small, I grabbed a squeegee that has been cut. So it started off as a larger squeegee that all I have done is just cut it. And it's actually not this one, it's a different style of squeegee. Let's see. It's one of these squeegees. So all I did was cut this into strips so that they're smaller, so that the area, the smaller areas that I'm working in, or you could use the multi-tool, but as you can see, I still have paste on those. So we're going to put those back in. I'm going to put the lid back on so it's not drying out. And then I'm just going to lift up, and I'm just going to do this little spider here. And I'm just going to lay this back over. And I'm going to lift this one up. And I got some little bats and stars up here that I'm going to do in the silver. We'll scrape that back in. Put it in the water bath. Put the lids back on. When the chalk pastes aren't in use, you definitely want to put the lids back on. Otherwise, they have a tendency to dry. And then all we are going to do, let me make sure, well, it's not a big deal. I can wash it off. Nice thing about the chalk paste on a chalkboard is if it got where I don't want it, I can very easily just wipe it up. And so now for the big reveal, pull back, pull back. And oh my goodness. I don't know about everybody else. I'm not ready for winter, but I am definitely ready for fall and warmer weather. The heat, as I've gotten older, I literally just cannot tolerate it. I am hot all the time. I never seem to be cool unless I'm sitting underneath my swamp cooler. And today, while it's on, I'm already feeling like my clothes are getting sticky because there's a lot of moisture in the air today. We're supposed to have more thunderstorms, I think, this afternoon. And so as the day progresses, it just gets stickier and stickier. So I'm just gonna stick my wadded up tissues over to the side. And this is what it turned out. And I think it turned out great. The two colors blended together actually gave it almost this brownish color. And then the bats and the spider actually stand out because they were done in the silver. Hi Linda, hi Jody, welcome. So again, my name is Sandy. I'm with Trending Designs by Sandy, and I'm an independent chalk couture designer. I've been with chalk couture since January of 2018, and the company launched in July of 2017. So I joined right about 6 months after it had launched. I used our reusable silkscreen transfer, spooky, black cats, Halloween, trick-or-treat, haunted houses, October 31st, ghosts, and jack-o'-lanterns. And the two colors that I primarily used were papaya and orange peel. And I'm trying to get the glare off. Thank you, Rita. I know, I love it too. It'll go out to the farmer's market next weekend. And if it doesn't sell, then it will be hanging at my house for the holidays. Well, for Halloween anyways, maybe even up to Thanksgiving, since it's the right colors. Welcome, Just Because Custom Creations. Okay, so this was our first project. I don't know, it took, what, maybe 7 minutes or so to do. I don't even know if it took quite that long. And I'm going to stick this aside, and I'm going to grab a little black, or I'm sorry, a natural color canvas tote, like for a trick-or-treat bag. They were a popular seller for me last year, and I actually just sold them on Facebook Marketplace. As I did them, I put them up, and people would contact me and tell me, yes, they wanted it. Could I do something different with it? And it worked out pretty good. So I'm going to show you the same transfer, using it on fabric versus the chalkboard. I just want to show the versatility and how two different things, using the same transfer two different ways, you end up with two completely different projects. And give me just a second here while I clean off my transfer, and I'm going to show you how easy that is to do as well. So out of the camera view, I have one of those little tins that you can get at the dollar store. I buy mine in bulk from a warehouse store. And I just put some water in it, just regular tap water, and stuck it in there. I'm pulling it out. I'm just going to stick it on the paper towel. And all I'm going to do is take our board eraser and go over it real quick. Flip it over. And all I'm doing is washing off the paste. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Just Because Custom Designs. And then as you can see, my transfer is clean. My silk screens are what I'm most concerned about. Ink sometimes will stain this. That's perfectly normal, and it does not hurt the transfer. So long as the silk screens, where you can see my hand through, so long as those are clean, it is usable. And as it dries on the back, it becomes sticky again. So when you put it in the water actually deactivates the stickiness of the transfer until it dries. And all I'm doing right now is just wiping it down, making sure it's dry. And as you can see, it's sticking pretty good to my hands. I just want to make sure there's no water in any of the silk screens. And I'm just going to pull it up. I'm just going to place it over there to the side for a second. I don't know if all of you were on the other night when I did my live. I did a Victorian, our Victorian skull on a pillow. And then I heat set and I just put a filler in. But this is how it turned out after being placed in the pillow. And it'll need some more fluffing, I think. But I absolutely just love this transfer. And there's so many uses for it. And I've seen some wonderful ideas online already. But it's already heat set. Heat setting takes 4 minutes with a regular iron in each section, or with a Cricut heat press, 30 seconds at about 305 degrees. And then you just flip it inside out, and then you do it on the inner side as well, and then it's permanent. And this can be undone, thrown in the washing machine, washed, and then put the little center insert back in. And this is literally just a center insert, so you can pull it out, toss it in the washing machine. When it comes out, you put the little insert back in, and it's ready to be thrown on your chair. Welcome, Dixie. All right, so this is our canvas tote. I have placed our ink mat inside. You can hear that it's very sticky. And what it does is it helps for the canvas or t-shirt or pillow not to move while I am inking my project. And I literally have just pushed it down and made sure all the wrinkles are out. And then I'm going to use the exact same transfer that we just used on the chalkboard. Except this time I will be using ink instead of chalk paste. And I'm just going to make sure that I get it nice and adhered to the canvas tote, so that we don't have any air bubbles. And now using the ink, I don't have to be as quick. I can use lots of different colors and don't have to worry about putting down wet towels, because it does not dry as fast. And so for this, we are going to use some black. Our spider, I think we're still going to do silver. And let's see. I think we're going to use papaya, and I'm not sure what color this is because it has the wrong label on it. Last year we had a malfunction at Chalk Couture with these two colors when they launched, and the mustardy one got papaya stuck on it, which was really nice. Chalk Couture let me keep the one that I received. I had actually ordered this and got this, and let me keep this one and sent me this. So that was really nice. And I'm not sure if I want to use brown or not. I think I'm just going to stick with the black, the mustard color, and the papaya, and the silver. I'm going to grab a couple more squeegees. Does anyone have any questions? Again, I am really just trying to kill time. I have a make and take this afternoon with a group of 8 or 9 ladies. Jeannie, if you're on here, thank you very much. Looking forward to this afternoon. Super excited. And actually, I think this is a slight bit crooked. And I can add all kinds of additional little small transfers to this to go around if I decide it's just too plain with just the one. And right now I'm just making sure I don't have any air bubbles. All right, let's go ahead and get started. This. Stick these lids over to the side. And the black. Now, working with black, if any of you have seen any of my previous lives, I tell people to be real careful with the black because it is much thinner than all the rest. But when you're working with fabric, you want to make sure that you're going in one direction, not scraping, and just kind of go slower. There's no real big hurry with the ink, not like there is with the chalk paste. And I'm just wiping off the extra ink off my fingers so that it doesn't get on my canvas. Hi Irene, welcome. I am demonstrating Chalk Couture. I just demonstrated using this transfer on a chalkboard, and now I am going to show how easy it is to switch it up and do it on a little canvas bag. Hi Sheila, how are you today? How did your event go on Friday night? Okay. So, and I'm just going to, and this is much, much thinner, this black. And so I'm just going to start, it looks like you can see it in the camera. I'm going to start above my silk screen, and I'm just going to go down, down, and a little bit more, down. And then I'm just scraping off the excess, and scraping off the excess, and scraping off the excess. You do not want to do this when you're using ink, and especially with the black ink. The black ink, like I said, is so much thinner when you're working with it. And I am going to do my little bat here, and I am trying to be as gentle as I can because I'm using too big of a squeegee for that area. So give me just a second. Grab one of the ones I've cut apart. Scrape down, scrape down, scrape down. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you. My shirt I made for 4th of July here. And thought, oh, I'll just throw this on. I like the versatility of showing off the product. All right, let's see, where else did I want to put? Oh, October 31st, I wanted to use black as well. So I'm just, literally, I am just scraping down. I'm going to put some extra up here and then scraping. Like I said, the black is just got to be careful when using the black, especially, well, even me. I mean, I've been using the products for, well, the ink for well over a year. I think we came out with the ink in March of 2018 is when I got it. So I've been working with it for over a year, and black is still the hardest one for me. I'm going to get out some silver here. I'm going to grab another cut up squeegee. This is going to be for my stars and my spider here. Anybody have any fun plans for this afternoon? Oh, it's actually Sunday, isn't it? For some reason, I keep thinking it's Saturday. That's going to throw me off tomorrow morning when I'm supposed to go to work. And so all I'm doing is throwing these extra squeegees up into my water bath, putting my lids back on. And then I think I may, oh, you know what? I actually messed up. Well, we're going to do something different. I am going to put trick or treat. So I'm going to do the trick part since I didn't do October 31st. Go up. And I'm starting below and above the silk screen. And then drag. And then this one little spot here, scraping off the excess. And then I'm just going to go over it real quick, scraping off the excess, scraping off the excess. All right, now we are done with the black. As you can see, it is all over my hands. That's what the little baby wipe things are for. I just wipe my hands with the baby wipes. I have Clorox wipes that I use on the transfers. I do not use baby wipes on them. Some people say they're fine, but I've also heard that the soap inside of the baby wipe can damage your silk screen. And I'm just going to, I think I'm going to ombre again. I love the look of the ombre. So we're just going to put some extra. And we'll take some of this and we'll go like this. And this color is thicker. I think it's also from last fall. These last a long time. And the inks don't tend to dry out like the chalk paste does. Chalk paste, you have to, when they dry out a little bit, you just add some, spray some distilled water into the jar, and then that, and stir, and then if you spray into the jar at the end of each use, that also helps it to stay moist, keep it lasting longer. But again, a little bit goes a long, long, long way. As you can see, and I used this a lot last fall, and I still have more than half the jar. Scrape off my excess. I'm going to put that to the side just in case I need it. And then we're going to take some of this papaya. And we're going to fill in welcome, Loretta. And on this, because it's being ombre, it does not matter that they mix together. And actually I did miss a spot. I'm going to do this up here. I'll have to come back and do my ore with some more yellow or mustard. To add some more of the mustard here and here, and then more of the papaya here, and then all I did was dip my finger into it, and I'm just going to start mixing. There's a fly flying around in my house. I can assure you he will not be around for much longer. So I have the house to myself, which is very unusual on a Sunday afternoon. Husband is working, and daughter is at a driving class, but it's the learning the rules of the road today. Today is her last day of the 4-day class. She'll actually take the test this afternoon for her permit. And then we will go down there on Wednesday to get her permit. All right, I'm gonna wash my finger here. My little bath that I have out of sight. Make sure I don't have, and I'm going to just take some of this and some of the papaya, and I'm literally just blending them together. That's all I'm doing. And we're going to add some more papaya. And let me know if anybody has any questions. And on this, I am probably not going to scrape all my excess off. And the reason being is this has been on here for a few minutes. And I do not want the transfer to move. And it does sometimes tend to shift, kind of lift up. Remember, I was getting out all those air bubbles in the beginning. Well, the longer that the transfer sits on your project, it can cause your transfer to lift up from your fabric. So I think what I'll do is in a couple of these heavy spots, I will be very careful. And when I say careful, I mean I am barely touching the surface of the transfer. I mean barely. And it's just to get off the really heavy stuff on the top. All right, grab another clean baby wipe. Make sure my fingers do not have ink. Ink is not forgiving Like the chalkboard, I can literally take the baby wipe or a little wet Q-tip and I can go around and fix my mistakes. When you're using ink, not as easy. It can sometimes remove, but most of the time you have to take something else and add an embellishment. All right, I just pulled it off. I stuck it in my water bath. Give me just a second here, and I'm going to flip it around and show you this one. And then I will show you both of them together and show you how versatile the transfer is, using it two different ways. And there we go. And I am pulling out my ink mat so that I don't forget when I go to heat set it. And then I'll show you, like I said, both of the projects together. So this is our little canvas tote, and I probably will add, I have a couple of transfers from last year. One has a Frankenstein, it has some mummies and stuff, and I may add those around. What do you think? Hi, Gwen. Cute little Halloween tote. I can either use it at a grocery store, farmer's market, which I'm working at every Saturday except for yesterday. Trick-or-treat bags. Like I said, if I add some more little doodads, I could add some more spiders coming down. And then this was the first project we did on a black chalkboard. And this chalkboard is it is a Chocateur board, but it is retired. It was our Aiden black framed board. Thank you, Rita. So two projects using the same transfer because they are reusable, so long as you take care of them, washing them in cold water and drying them off as soon as you're done. So as soon as I'm done with the live, I will be jumping off and washing that transfer so that I don't have any issues. But you can see how the transfer, even though it's the same transfer, we did two different projects and they look completely different. Just by changing up the colors, changing up our background. I can't say enough good things about this product. It's just amazing. If you are not a designer, you can join my VIP group. You can type VIP at the bottom or at the top of, I think at the top of the description, there's a link to my VIP group. All of these products that I used are available except for the Aiden black frame. It's not available, but our new Sylvie boards are the same. They have the black frame. They have a black frame with a white board, which are amazing as well. Thanks, Rita. Does anyone have any questions? So I will heat set this. Takes 4 minutes with an iron. I went out and bought myself one of those Cricut Easy Presses, and it takes 30 seconds. 30 seconds at about 305 using a piece of parchment paper, and then you turn it inside out and you do it again for 30 seconds. And my Easy Press is big enough that I can do this in one setting. not like the pillow. The pillow took me, well, I moved it around 4 different times because it was just missing a section here and there. So on the chalkboard, this is dry. It will stay dry until I spray it with water or I seal it. I won't seal this board. If it doesn't sell, I will wash it off. I will make something else on it for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Hi Charlotte, welcome. So does anyone have any questions? All right, well that just took just under an hour to make both of those projects. Talk to you, wash my transfers, determine which ones, which inks I was using when I got to the ink project. Like I said, if you are a non-designer and would like to be a part of my VIP group, you can drop VIP in the comments and I'll send you a link. Or you can, in the description, there is also a link to my VIP group where I offer specials or will be offering specials and selling transfers and little kits and stuff. So anyways, I hope everyone has a great afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go prepare, load up my car with the rest of the stuff I have to take to my make and take this afternoon. But I hope everybody has a blessed Sunday. Goodbye.